If I actually made a video called How to Read a Script on Camera, it'll be the shortest video I've ever made because I can sum up all my advice on that subject in just 2 words. So instead, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't read to camera and what you can do instead that is way better. There are a ton of videos out there already that tell you how to read a script on camera, but what none of them tell you is that it's really hard to do and takes an awful long time to master. There are actually 2 skills you need if you want to be able to read a script on camera really well, and if you're not great at doing one of them or both of them, you might as well just be holding the script up in front of your face on camera. You know how you can spot bad acting on TV even if you're not a great actor? Well, it's a bit like that. If you're not great at reading a script on camera, people will spot it a mile away. When we write stuff down, we make choices that we wouldn't normally make if we were just saying that stuff out loud. For instance, we might choose words that we wouldn't normally say, or use combinations of words that have got a different rhythm to the way we normally speak. Abbreviations are really common too, whereas you probably say don't or won't, you're much more likely to write down do not or will not. So when you read the written word out loud, it just sounds different. Pick up a magazine or a book and just try reading it out loud and you'll see what I mean. Okay, let's assume for a second you've got that script writing bit nailed. Next, you've got to be able to read that script out on camera without looking or sounding like you're reading that script out on camera. Now, before he goes any further, see if you can tell in the next bit whether he's reading a script or not. Whoa, that was a bit weird. Now, TV presenters do that with something called an autocue or a teleprompter, and that's basically a little bit of kit that reflects the words you need to read on a rolling screen, and that sits in front of the camera lens. Now, you've still got to look and sound convincing doing that though, and that means you'll be animated on screen like you would normally in everyday speech. You'll be going from autocue to ad-libbing and back again without missing a beat, and you'll probably be using rhythms and inflections that you would normally use in everyday speech. Basically, it's really hard to do, takes a lot of practice, it's a skill, much like acting. Now, if you watch the really good presenters on TV do it, you wouldn't be able to tell whether they were ad-libbing, auto-cueing, or a combination of both, because they're on TV. They're paid a lot of money to do it because they're really good at it, and I'm assuming that's not where you're at right now. I mean, I've been doing this stuff for 30 years now. I can read an autocue, but actually I prefer not to. So I'm going to show you what I do instead because I think that'll really work for you. Yeah, I know I told you not to write a script and now I'm telling you to write a script, but bear with me on this because every great video needs to have a structure. So you need a really hooky, compelling intro, you need all the details in the middle, and you need a call to action at the end. So write all this stuff down to help you construct it in a way that will work. So now go through that script and highlight all the key phrases, all those little bits that you really need to get right, or the headlines for each section, and then delete everything else. Before he goes any further, a little bit of advice. If you're new to this, start small. Start with shorter videos, get good at presenting those on camera, and then you can go to longer ones. Right, I'll let him carry on. Sorry. Weird. Anyway, you'll see a lot of videos, especially on YouTube, that use something called jump cuts. The presenter records everything they need to film and then they go back and chop out all the bits that are superfluous. So all the mistakes, pauses, hesitations, all the ums and ahs, and you wind up with something that looks a little bit like this. Now, not only does that technique look horrible, it's also unprofessional, and you'd never see that on TV, would you? And the reason being is professionals think it looks pants, so they don't do it. So instead what you can do is go through your script and work out where you're not going to be on screen, where you're going to add in your B-roll or your graphics or your text. And by the way, you'll need all that stuff because that gives the whole video pace and makes it easier to watch. Those are the places where you can hide your edits so you can make the whole thing look seamless and not a jump cut in sight. So here's my bit of paper with all my bullet points on. That goes on the floor in front of me so I don't lose my way. Then I hit record and off I go, just chatting to you like I would if we were meeting face to face. I might wander off script a little bit, I might say things in a slightly different way, but I want all those things to happen because that's natural conversation. That's what it's like. It's way more me than any script's ever going to be. But all the time, I've still got my roadmap on the floor so I know exactly where I'm going. Look, above all, doesn't matter how you do it, presenting to camera takes practice. It's a skill and you need to work at it. You're never going to be good at it straight out of the box unless you're really, really natural. So take your time, and if you need any more help or you have any questions, put them in the comments below or get in touch. I'm always happy to chat. Have a great day.